Examine The Rivals by Sheridan as an anti-sentimental comedy. Marks, 10 to 12. Answer. The English stage, in the second half of the 18th century, was marked by anemic sentiments, boring tears and serious morals. Sheridan, along with Goldsmith, took up the cudgels against the sentimental comedy of the day. His principal aim was to delineate characters which were true to nature and to enrich the presentation with humor instead of excessive sentimentality. The Rivals is a typical anti-sentimental comedy in all its aspects. The very prologue to the play clearly sets forth Sheridan's anti-sentimental intentions. The play is not intended to preach moral lessons or to sentimentalize after the prevalent fashion. The function of this comedy is to provide pure mirth and fun. The theme of the play is built on a slight machination and turns upon the amusing mystification of one and the same person as his own rival. There is nothing serious here. Rivalry in love is merely a matter of foolery than passion and pain. Captain Jack Absolute carries on a love affair with Lydia Languish in the guise of one poor ensign Beverly to satisfy her fascination for a romantic love episode. At the intervention of his father Sir Anthony Absolute, a man of absolute decision, his marriage is settled with the very same lady, in his real identity. As such, he becomes quite amusingly, his own rival. Typical of an anti-sentimental comedy, the characters in the play are true to life. They are drawn from the 18th century society. Captain Absolute, the hero of the play, is the typical romantic lover of the day. Sir Anthony Absolute is the tyrannical father of the time. Bob Acres is a foolish country gentleman aspiring to be a man of fashion by imitating the manners of city beaux. Mrs. Malaprop represents the old provincial ladies of the 18th century who delighted in using high-sounding words and showing off their learning. The Rivals is free from the lachrymose elements of the sentimental comedy. The entire plot turns upon the pivot of a single yet amusing mystification which gives rise to some very pleasant comic scenes. The scene of the altercation between Sir Anthony and Captain Absolute, that of Captain's recantation and the duel scene deserve special mention in this respect. In a nutshell, the whole action passes on a tempest of boisterous laughter. Furthermore, the play introduces two highly laughter-provoking humors in Bob Acres' oath referential, and in Mrs. Malaprop's nice arrangement of epitaphs. Though The Rivals is an anti-sentimental comedy, it leans in one side to the sentimental comedy. The subplot of the play, the Julia Falkland episode, contains some of the features of the sentimental comedy. Julia recalls the heroine of the sentimental comedy. She is innocent, yet she is wronged by her captious lover, Falkland. The wronged innocence as presented by Julia Falkland episode gives rise to some tearful situations. The subplot is also marked by sentimental moralizings. Julia's last speech to Falkland seems to be a moral lecture delivered, as it were, from the pulpit. Thus, a close perusal of the play reveals that Sheridan is not fully successful in banishing solemn sentiments from comedy. As Nettleton finely says, consciously or not, Sheridan allowed the conventional phrasings of sentimental drama. Though Falkland is a humor character, in whom jealousy is carried to comic exaggeration, some of his and Julia's speeches seem rather an unconscious echo of sentimental diction than raillery at its extravagance. We cannot but conclude that even an anti-sentimental comedy, at its best, has to nourish itself on sentiments. Finished. Please subscribe to the channel for more updates of ready-made notes on English literature.